Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here going to be extending out our track, or at least laying in the dock for some new landing. Obviously, heading up to the mine is going to be our next goal. We have the rough in there, or the downhill run for the smelter in, so it is time to actually get up to the mine. At this point, we're only tier 2, so we can only turn around and move tier 2 stuff. Wait a minute. It's gotta be right in here somewhere. Where do we go? Oh, we're nowhere near far enough up the valley. There we go. But gonna have to turn around and do something for tier 3, so we can turn around and either run stuff obviously to the depot, or we can expand up here and start bringing this in, which is gonna be the goal. It's nicer to push stuff along than just push it to the depot at any rate. So trying to get some of that going is what today will be about, I guess. And then we'll just have to see how fast it all goes in here, whether we actually get track going down the hill or not. We're just gonna have to see how it works out. Sometimes it can take a hot minute to put this stuff in. Try not to get too crazy long with the videos, even though building, that's just kind of what it is. As you go through, some people enjoy the building videos, some people definitely do not. But so we're going to try to show this one for like basically just absolutely everything we do on this railroad. We're going to try to just show instead of worrying about it. We know all this stuff's gonna have to go, so we might as well cut it. We know we're gonna come out this way. The dev path just honestly is one of the best routes in the game as far as I'm concerned. Obviously everybody has their varying routes that they like or dislike, but I've always liked the downhill run to the smelter from here, so definitely keeping that. Alright, we'll try to get rid of that one. Don't need to get rid of a ton over here. I don't think we're going to go crazy with the holding here. Put in a little bit, obviously. Hopper cars and tier 2 cars quite often have a way of wanting to get left up here, so I don't know if we'll have 2 rolling tracks. We definitely know we're going to have at least 1. That, and we'll clear most of this headed this direction as well. We know we're going to be over here. Ups and downs with the ground to deal with for sure in here. That's way off farther than we're going to be, so we don't need to mess with those actually. Probably get rid of these. You can see we have a nice dip in there. Widen this out a bit. Alright, somewhere in there should give us a nice place to deal. This one just kind of looks out of place. Not that we're necessarily going to put anything there, but alright, actually we should stay in the air. Why not? What do we do? Ground? Okay, let's stay up in the air for this one, and then we'll grab track. Probably not going to use both links here. What do we have? What? Really? Yeah, okay. So we can get a link to there. Good enough. After that, we're going to bend it. This will bring straight till at least we can get a switch. That should work. Hopefully that works. That might be awfully close. We will take a look, see what we can do. Try to keep this as clean as we can here. Could we put in a second switch here if we felt like it? Probably. Good news is we don't feel like it. So do we want to do 2 off? We could try do like this. Let's just see where things end up. Okay, if we go with that one, if we did another one, it's going to end up too far into the corner. So we're not going to do that. So if we're going to add more holding here, we're going to have to change something other than the idea that's in my head right now. So we may just end up with one chute. If we didn't need to go down, we need that one. Grab you. This one we're not going to link to the end because we're going to start bending it before there probably. We don't need the whole dock. I guess I could do a straightaway almost to here though. And then bend it. Let's see. We'll just have to see how much we get out of it. We're going to bend it all the way over and then go into singles. See if we do something like that. There we go. Far enough? Hopefully we went far enough. Should have had that tree out of the way is what I should have done. Might as well just take this one, and this one to go with it. Just clean it up. Good enough. But actually, I wonder if we could try to do this the easy way. See if this works. Now, do we dare try to do... We could theoretically run a third rail on the inside. Let's just put one there in case. Who knows? Worst case scenario, we delete it. Not that big a deal. I just think by the time we get to this third one, we're looking at that's getting actually pretty tight. I would think. It's not horrible. Not in love with it though either, so there is that. Alright, if we are, yeah, we're not straight there. Where does straight put us? Alright, let's do that, then we'll take it out. Okay, and then if we go this way, but we want the switch on the outside or the stand on the outside, we also want it to hold its grade. We don't want it to keep going down into the ground. So, is that going to work? We're crooked though. Need that thing like 5 feet over this way. Well, technically, actually, everything should be straight. So, I just don't know. Gotta see how this is gonna come off of here. If it's a crazy turn or if we're just gonna get a decent. If we have a decent turn here, we're okay. This 30 is not gonna be a decent turn right there. Let's see if we get that down to the ground. Oh, we're farther. We're much farther over than I want to be. Well, let's see. Is it worth it? That's going to be the question. We want to go right there. Does all of this line up? Because if all of this lines up super nice, this does not line up super nice because look at the height difference. Right, and this is going down. Alright, we're gonna have to alter a few things here. This rail, boy, that's gonna be really hard to turn with 3 rails right there. Let's see. Alright, if we go, we don't need to be anywhere near that far. Alright, and then we'll just duplicate. We can't duplicate that because it won't attach, will it? So that's the problem with the duplicate thing, is it won't. It's not like it's gonna link to it. But we don't really need it. I mean, we can manually run these out. And pretty much get them in the same spot, so. Not a big deal, I guess. That'll work anyway. Yeah. It should work anyway. We'll see. I don't know if we're going to keep all 3 of those. Though it'd be kind of nice, but then this inside is getting to be a pretty sharp turn. So let's just see how everything is going to attach on this side. There, we're good. And then there. That's fine, because really our holding is on the turn, but then these are going to get big, bulky, and in the way. I wonder. Still not turned where I want it. Might end up ripping up the whole thing, who knows. Alright, we want to go this way, yeah. Let's see what actually happens. Yeah, way, way, way too high. Alright, so don't dig it. Good news is you can always get rid of it. I knew I didn't like the corner from the start, so there we go. Scratch that idea. And we'll do that better. Alright, kick you over. Sometimes you just gotta let it go and not try to make it work if it's not working. And see, we could get this out to 40 instead, and that would be a positive. Also, we could start bringing it down, and that would keep us from getting up to the moon. So there's that. And then if we just bring this out straight from here, we don't even have to go that far. We're already going down there. And then if we just drop in switches here, go that way, winner, drop that on there. See, now if we just do one, it's just that easy. If we try to do 2, I wonder if we could actually just put it in here. That's how close that is to working. 'Cause I don't think from there it'll work. We could try, but that is so if it were a foot further back. I suppose this will have to come back up. Not. I see, like that looks like it would work, but I don't think it's gonna actually work. Because it's gonna be too embedded in the ground. It's just not far enough back. So we missed that by like a couple of feet. And then the problem is we start dropping off here that any more and it's gonna get ugly. I guess what we could do is try to stretch this out. Let's take a different approach. Crank that over. Just let it auto lay in here, so if we just do like that, we should still be okay to throw the switch on. Now let's see what happens with the switch. Yeah, see, then it's up on the moon. And that we definitely don't want. Alright, new plan. Always options of how to lay this stuff, so probably should not have deleted that one. So nice thing is, I don't know, theoretically, undo. There we go. Put that back. Have to be honest, first time I ever used that. We want to go with the switch like this. And if we just drop the switch, we know we want it somewhere in there. That'll put the switch down where we want it, and then we'll just delete that. It'll be freehand, so it's not going to be totally perfectly. We don't need that. Perfectly straight, but straight enough. Why are you going to complain? Because can you make it work? Yep. Yeah, that's definitely straight enough, and now the switch is following the way we want it and laid where we need it. Now whether we can pull off what we need here is going to be a whole different animal, but that is going to work. Sometimes you just go freehand and things flow better. See, now that is not going to work because it's going to be too high. Although things have to come up to make that turn. It's like, how bad do you want the holding, you know? Versus how just do you want the track to look, I guess. Hey, what are you doing? Duplicate. Oh, what is your problem? Oh, you are duplicating. You're just duplicating over there. Cool. And see if I do that. Like, it's not gonna work. Okay. There we go. We are just gonna wing it. Okay. I like where that turn was. I want it right where that turn was, but we will go single. we're gonna get the look we're looking for in here, whether we gotta do it the hard way or not. I guess is gonna be, can we bump that out one more, or is it gonna cause us a problem? They're holding, so you better move it over a little bit. Alright, and if we just get that in there, and then we get straight. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Worst case scenario, we get groundwork to it. We're not really gonna need you though. There we go. Snap. What was that? Can we take it? Can we keep it? Is it manageable? It's got a little bit of up, but we know we need some fill there anyway. So yeah, we'll take it. Should probably fill in decently once, if we can get this other track on the inside of it. Though this one, I don't know, because this is going to get tight. Yeah, we're down to 31 here. How much can we move out is the question. If we go to there, and then we might be able to change. I don't know. Let's just try to auto snap it from there and see what we get. Boom. That is not horrible. That inside line is obviously a little tight and a little... Well, we knew that was going to be the case. They look decent. Alright. So that's cool. Keep that. Swing down here. It took a little bit. But we'll keep it. Much cleaner than I would normally put in there. Normally I'm just kind of like, yeah, all you need is 3 big lines and you stretch them out longer and throw it in there. I guess we'll see. Hopefully we can get this whole thing. I don't know that we're going to get down the hill in a super timely fashion. The problem with running down that hill in a big hurry, I don't know, everybody else feels like you hurry the track, then you make it sloppy or something. I don't know. You can always go in and adjust, but you hate to just slap it in sloppy, I guess. At least I do. I don't know. Okay. We know we're going to want to hook off of the edge here. Let's just get that. How does all that look? I'm fairly happy with that. And then we will turn off and head that way. In fact, should come in here, grab a nice solid footing. As we will be taking off with bridge work mainly from here. Okay. That should be cool for that. Let's go tidy up the other end. Yeah, I'm digging that. It's clean. It's organized. Question is, can we get out this way? The nice thing is, if we don't have any switches, normally I end up with a switch way over here and start breaking things. So we're breaking off into other lines, that is. So we're avoiding that this time. Do we want groundwork? Boy, if we have groundwork, that stuff has to be already here. Otherwise, we go with the wall here just simply because it keeps things cleaner. So if we come along, we can grab the edge there. this one can always kind of be tricky, depending on how picky you want to get with it. You know, how much of the wall do you want to see? How much, Some people like to bury that wall right next the edge of the wall, like this side here, where you can't see the wall. But then now with some of the wider locomotives, I don't know if that's pushing it and getting too close. Well, I mean, we'll certainly find out when and if we get one of the big honkers up here. That's for sure. Okay, this we don't want to really be playing around with our grade. So we're just going to run that right out to the edge. So it looks good. For a fitting, or a footing, fitting. It's a fitting footing. It's a footing that's fitting. But it fits there, and then we'll go from bridge over. Run the line there. I think we're clear of the wall. We'll try to take this just over the edge here. Trying to avoid where the wall or the groundwork would start sticking over the wall there. So we'll turn this somewhere in there. We should be good. And then I think from here, oops, I always hitting the wrong button there. We will go with regular old groundwork, which is not going to let us auto snap. Once we bring it over this way, it will. Now let us auto snap. Boom. Nice gentle curve out of here. I think that's the first time I've ever laid this without a switch, like right in here, because I'm always breaking out those tracks. Never had them back this far. They're always way out here. But that lets us have a nice smooth transition out of here. In fact, that's probably straight enough. So we could go ahead and put, we're going to need water for sure. So let's go ahead and grab a water tower. I'm kind of partial to the classic ones myself. So I think we'll just run with that. And we'll stick you around on this side. Something like that. Go for water, and we'll probably throw some wood, because I would assume we'll have some wood fired locomotives coming up in this direction, so we might as well throw that up here as well. Get that in there. Probably could throw sand in here, not that you need it, but you can always dress it up that way. We'll just see if one fits just for fun. I don't know if it'll actually fit here. You're gonna snap to the rail. You don't want to be ornery about it because it's a curve. That's the thing. I don't think it's gonna maybe fit in here with the curve going on. We definitely wouldn't put it on that side. It would have to be on this side. Problem is with the switch there. Well, I mean, whatever. We can put it down and take a look. That's actually not horrible. I think for now we'll leave it there just for it, and we'll see. Maybe we like it, maybe we don't. I think all things considered, that's not going to come out too bad. Obviously, some laying and some relaying, but I've always said that's what I think the game kind of is, or the fun of the game to me is the trial and the error. That's why I never try to play in too crazy, and then just kind of go with whatever comes along the way. I think it just makes for the fun of it. This one, and it always makes it varied. Obviously, I've done layouts similar to this before up here. Honestly, I think this is probably one of the cleaner versions of it. I think we have just enough holding in here for, hoppers. Hopefully it's wide enough. We'll just have to see when we actually start bringing stuff in. But yeah, I think for the most part, that's going to be the landing here. Obviously, we'll take that off down that way, and then we'll build it off that way. But I think we'll probably get those on the next one, so it's not too super long on this one. So dropping in a landing with a little bit of trial and error, finding the way, but I kind of like the outcome. We'll have to see how tight this inside corner is. I mean, we know it's tight, but should do okay inside the yard situation like that. I don't know, how tight do you take them inside the yard? But yeah, I think with that, we'll call it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.